All right, Susan. So changing the sizes of the points and the thicknesses of the segments. You can do that, but there's probably a couple of changes you're going to have to make to the settings first, but I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just going to make a tool. I'd like to make a regular polygon that'll have a lot of segments and a lot of points that I can use. So I'll go to the More, and then I will scroll down a little bit, and here is the regular polygon tool. So I'll just click and click, and I'll set that up for 7 just for kicks. Now there's a couple of things. I'll put this tool away before I do anything else because I don't want to be making regular polygons everywhere. You'll notice the way my settings are set up that none of the points are labeled. And you can set that before you start. In the upper right corner, if you go to the gear icon, and then scroll to the bottom gear icon for settings, and then on the right side, hit the gear icon again. And this is where I can decide how I would like things labeled. And so I could select all new objects, which means everything would get labeled. I prefer no new objects early in a geometry because I want to motivate a reason for labeling objects. But you could also just have the points being labeled. And honestly, for geometry, that's probably just about all you would need. This next page is kind of like the background. And then this last one is more about the algebra view. And we'll talk about this, sort by construction order. I prefer to organize my algebra view, not by construction order, but by object type. And I'll show you why. So I'll close that window, and I'll go over to the left-hand side, and I'll look at the algebra view. And so what happens is all of my points, now I only have point A and B, so I'll show you how to get the rest of those there, because all these other ones are auxiliary points. But my polygon is there, and all of the segments are there as well. So let's go back over to the settings, and let's go down to the settings again, and the super settings. And then I'll go to the graphing one, and I want to show all the auxiliary objects. And so that makes all of my segments show up. That makes all of my points show up. And if I would like to change the sizes of all of the points in my sketch, I click on the header, and that selects all of the points. And then if I right-click on one of them, I could go to the settings, and then I could, under the style, I could change all of their sizes to either nothing or very large. And the same for the segments. I could click on the segments, and now all of my segments are selected. I could go to the settings over here as well. And if I go to the little polygon icon, I can change the color of all the segments. I can make them bright red. I could make them very thick. So you can change all of the points and all of the segments and all of these objects at the same time. You just got to set your algebra view up so it is organized by object type. Now you asked about an arc tool. And so I'll go back to my tool menu, and there is an arc tool. I have to do more one more time. And then here is the circular arc tool. And so if I activate that, click, and then it goes counterclockwise around the center point. Oftentimes what I will do, because this is kind of a free point here, oh, let me put the tool away. This is kind of like a free point, which shows you like the angle. I oftentimes will build an arc over a circle, and then I'll hide the circle later. That said, if I go back to my algebra view, this is the length. This 4.1 is the length, the arc length, not the arc measure. If you want arc measure, you'll need to compute that. Anyway, I hope this answers your questions. And if you're using one of the other geometry, like GeoGebra Classic, instead of the geometry app, just let me know.